Hi Scorpio, welcome to your July 2023 Astro-Tarot scope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Scorpio, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. If you are only going to watch one of these, I do advise that you make it for your ascendant, because the chances are it's going to be the most accurate for you on that sort of day-to-day level. With that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So the one thing that I'm adding to these from now on, so you can let me know if you like it, it's just a tiny little tidbit of information, but I feel like it's helping tie the whole reading in with a bit more context. So this month, your themes for the month are relationships and status, pleasure and friendships. All right, so the first transit that I would like to talk about is on the 1st of July, so right out of the gate, Venus is going to square Uranus across your 7th and 10th houses. Now, this is a big deal for a few reasons. The first one is because this is the first pass of this transit. We're going to have two more of them because both of these planets are shortly to go retrograde. So it's worth noting that whatever happens here, you're going to be spending a few months at least sort of working through the themes of it. Now, Venus rules your 12th and your 7th houses. There's something in here about relationships and your personal status around your career that is shifting. So this could be anything from like a big purchase that makes you a homeowner or a car owner or a business owner, etc., right up to and including a relationship status change. Now, it is a square, which means that this is, if it's something that's being initiated, it potentially has a difficult birth. All right, just something to be mindful of. I really love this for raising your profile, but I also like it for finding easier allowance of yourself, like you being able to allow yourself to shine or to be more in the limelight. Everybody knows like Scorpios like to hide a bit. They like to be sort of mysterious, you know, and be all sort of behind the scenes. But I think this is encouraging you to do more of that, you know, to get out there more. So I really love this for you. In that square to Uranus though, ruler of your home sector, you might have surprise news that's coming in. It could be a pregnancy for some of you, though not all, but it could just as easily be, I've been offered my, you know, where your partner says to you, look, you know what, I've been offered my dream job and it means that I'm taking it and we have to move country. And you're like, I'm sorry, wait, what? Like what just happened? So this could be some really shocking news that comes through your partner, but it changes your status in the world in some way, shape or form. So for this, you have the Seven of Swords, okay, with the Page of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. So I am going to call this straight up. For a select few of you, a partner could lose their job this month. I really hope this isn't the case. And it does look like they've tried to rectify this way before you even find out. So it might be that somebody comes to you and says, look, you know, maybe your partner comes to you and says, I'm changing my hours of work are changing. And, you know, you say to them, well, how come? And they say to you, oh, well, you know, I lost my job, but I've been offered a new one elsewhere. You know, I had an interview and I've accepted said job, but it means that I'm going to be working a night shift from now on. Do you see what I mean? So that's where I don't feel like this is an actual sort of like scary, horrible deception. But I do feel like something that you find out after the fact, and you might kind of look at your partner and think, okay, well, if you haven't told me that, what else are you not telling me? I really think this is one of those few times where it is just that your partner was genuinely trying to protect you from something. So don't sort of don't be a Scorpio about it, okay? You guys know I love you. On the 11th of July, Mercury is going to be coming into the sign of Leo, which is your 10th house. So that 10th house is getting a lot of activation for you this month. So this is your career sector. It's your legacy in the world, what you're leaving behind, what you build for the long term. But this is your public facing persona as well. So like If you're married, then you are a wife or a husband or however you identify. If you are a business owner, like this, your status is the 10th house as well. So Mercury is bringing a good shot of coffee to this, like to this visibility area of yours. It's making you likable, it's making you fun, snappy and witty. I know a lot of you are like, well, that's just me every day, right? All right, so and also people could really be seeing you as their friend. Like they feel like, yeah, you know what, this person really gets me, even if they don't know you. So this could be really great for things like sales. If you need anything that needs like a charismatic sort of charm, or like easy words, you know, come hither smile, maybe all of that is with you over the course of this month for sure. I also like this for you figuring out ways to make more money. And it could be money that comes through connections or partnerships, but there potentially is a bit of a catch with this. You might need to think about how the public want you to be. And I feel like this is you being thrust into the limelight before you feel you're ready, but you kind of know deep down you are. All right, so there's some kind of expansion and growth that comes in with this Mercury, and I actually think it could be great for you. With this, you've got the Six of Swords, you've got the Queen of Swords, okay, and the Two of Pentacles. So there's an adaptation and an adjustment here. It's like in order for you to tap into the next level of monetary abundance or wealth or whatever you want to call it, in order to extract the money from the career, you're having to find, you're having to find a way to adapt who you are. This isn't about changing yourself entirely. It's about molding yourself to what your audience are telling you they need from you. So if you're working for somebody else, this could be the company says, yeah, you know, we're going to start hiring people that have got more of these types of skills. Well, okay, great. That doesn't mean that you can't train in that skill and be just as useful as any of the new people, and maybe even bag yourself a pay rise, etc. You know, on the way. So it's not just for business owners. There's loads of ways you could look into this. If you're retired and no longer working, or you know, work is not a draw for you, this could literally be you thinking about what your vocation is going to be from now on. Like, what are you going to put your time, effort, and energy into? All right, on the 20th of July, Mars is going to oppose Saturn. So Mars is in Virgo at this time at 6 degrees. Saturn is in Pisces at 6 degrees. And this for you is happening across your 11th and your 5th houses. This is the fun and connection axis, right? So you're getting a reality check here with a need to release something or break a tie or connection. So it does suggest that maybe you just want to enjoy life a bit more and kick back, but the needs of other people are calling you to action. Mars as the ruler of your 1st and your 6th houses, which are seeking expression through your peers and your connections, maybe even a benefactor as well, but they want more than their fair share. Right, and so then it's not fair, is it? So Saturn in your 5th as well is making you a lot more serious about what you consider to be fun and preserving that, right? Preserving your time, your fun, your freedom, your enjoyment, your frolics. You might also notice as well that your daily habits and routines are starting to shift or change. Maybe your habits and your patterns are starting to crystallize here in some way, shape or form. So the question becomes, what are you prepared to compromise on? And if you say nothing, fine, that's your choice, but the chances are something, this is one of those times where, like, you know, they say, like, if you're in an accident, if you just relax, you're likely to survive if you get hit by the car, whereas if you tense up, you break. This kind of feels like that. It's Mars opposing Saturn. It's going to be loud. It's going to be tense. And if you try to say, right, I'm not budging on anything, I'm just going to, you know, stick in the mud and be a fixed sign about it, something will break or it will be removed for you. Get ahead of that by finding a way to tap into your water, which after all is flowing and adapting. For this, you have the 7 of Cups. Okay, so what do we see here? 2 sevens. With the 5 of Wands and the Page of Swords. So I want to say to you with this, because it's happening across your 5th and 11th houses, both of these spaces are, you know, places where you interact with others. And so friends, friendship ties, you know, mates, people that you kind of hang about with and stuff and have a laugh with, could either be at some kind of odds at this time, and potentially be causing way more ruckus in your life than you actually need. I really feel like this transit in particular is going to show you where things need to be trimmed down to a more manageable size. All right, it's like you don't just eat the whole steak, you cut it into pieces so that you can ingest the whole thing properly, unless you're a proper carnivore and you just pick it up and eat it with a hand. All right, and then your fourth and final transit. On the 23rd of July, Mercury is going to square Uranus this time, and Venus is going retrograde. So Venus in the 10th house, you're revising and rethinking your career in some way, shape or form. But on top of that, Mercury square Uranus, you're readdressing some of the situations in your career sector, or refining how you're seen, or maybe even redefining how you're seen. For some of you, maybe even rebranding at this time. That could be yourself, your image, your status, maybe changing your status on Facebook from partnered to single, or from, and vice versa. Because it's Mercury, it's likely to be that some kind of information regarding a partner's finances could come up that could be like really welcome news. I like this for good news coming in through the home, but it could also be you that maybe you're buying a new piece of tech or equipment for the home that you're just like, yeah, I love this. This is great. It is a square though, right? So it is potential as well that there could be some disruptions to relationships and partnerships. And it's a potential that there could be a dissolution of a personal, professional or platonic tie. Remember, Uranus represents repulsion, but also divorce. So you could be revising and taking a much more modern approach to things here. And maybe in the process of teams and connections. So you also might be taking on, you might be looking at saying, whereas before I needed a team, now I just need one or two people. Do you know what I mean? It's like you get a really clear idea of how to hone things in. And then for this, you've got the Eight of Wands. So there's going to be a lot of communication at this time. And this day in particular is going to be quite loud. So just be mindful of that. With the the Five of Swords, so you've got two fives. So you've got two sevens, which is news, new information coming in. Then you've got two fives, which is a vigil. This is about where you put your focus. And then you've got the Seven of Pentacles. So 3 sevens represents a success. And it also represents an infirmity. So I am going to say someone's health here could potentially not be very good, and you might have a really clear idea of what should be done or needs to be done, and maybe somebody doesn't necessarily back you on this. Some of the changes that you're wanting to implement in the work, in the home, or even with some of your contracts or negotiations may not be as welcome as you like. So you're going to have to take the Scorpionic approach. Slow and steady and very patient. You're just going to have to wait it out. All right, so for your moons, on the 3rd of July, we've got the Capricorn new moon, which for you, oh gosh, okay, they're all going everywhere. So on the 3rd of July, you've got the Capricorn new moon, which for you is happening in your 3rd house of day-to-day habit, day-to-day locality. This is your local area and or siblings. And for this, you've got the gate 12 and caution. I really feel like this is putting a highlight or a spotlight on where you probably do need to lean into creating more local links for yourself. So I actually really like that, because the caution card isn't about being cautious. It's about sometimes kind of saying to yourself, am I being too cautious here? Possibly. And then on the 17th of July, you've got the Cancer new moon, which for you is happening in your 9th house. You've got the gate 4 and answer, and I love this for having this, right? So sorry about that. So what I was saying was I really love this for you because you're having this 9th house new moon, the 9th house being the house of God, right? The house of your connection to higher realms and the consciousness and the cosmos. And what I love about this most is that gate 4 and answer card suggests it's not, this isn't a prediction or a reading card. This is an instruction, right? And so basically, because you're having this new moon in a very spiritual house of your chart where you can get good answers and information, And this is giving you the instruction. So around the time of the new moon, if there's something that you want or need in your life, specifically around broadcasting, writing a book, legal matters and proceedings, higher education, etc., or maybe just some other area of your life that feels more sort of aligned at the moment, ask the question fully formed out to the universe and then wait for the answers to show up. And I always give this example. Let's say you have, right, do I buy a new car? And then, you know what, you turn on the radio or the TV and there's like some advert about you can get 20% off of a new car right now. Do you see what I mean? It has to be an answer that comes from the external world. So that's the way to utilize the manifesting energies of the Cancer new moon this month. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month. Let me know in the comments how it shaped up. Take care and I'll see you soon.